Hi everybody, welcome to Dice Camera Action, a D&D show, super spectacular, happy fun 90-minute hour.
Put that on a t-shirt quick.
Previously in Dice Camera Action, the heroes arrived in Waterdeep and over the course of a day or two crossed paths with a number of representatives of the Xanathar Guild and discovered that some of them had intellect devourers, brain-like creatures with legs, hiding out in their skulls, basically using them as meat puppets. Evelyn, at ChairCon, Evelyn won over a dwarf with a crossbow mounted to his arm, who was actually an enforcer in the Xanathar Guild, and brought him over to the side of the light, and caused him to forsake his allegiance allegiance. And Noska Urgray, the dwarf, revealed that these intellect devourers were basically being put into the heads of people by a mind flayer in league with the Xanathar. Meanwhile, Father Sunbright of the Spires of the Morning, the Temple of Lathander in Waterdeep, had an encounter with Magnus Burnsides, at the end of which there was some exchange of currency. Magnus stole a holy symbol from the good father.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. And also name-dropped Evelyn, which prompted Father Sunbright to ask Magnus if he would be so kind as to let Evelyn know that it's time for her to come home. He wants to find out what she's been up to and what she might have had to do with the end of the death curse. When Magnus rejoined the Waffle crew at the Yawning Portal Tavern, Diath was just coming off of a brutal encounter with 7 representatives of 7 dwarven clans of the north, who accused Diath of basically genocide, of murdering a bunch of innocent dwarves and then abandoning them to their fate. And the dwarves demanded recompense in the form of gold that had been taken from dwarven mines and minted into Waterdavian coins. Diath was pretty distraught, but Magnus was able to provide some much-needed comfort, whereupon Diath broke down before he was engulfed in a swarm of rats.
But like in a good way.
Exactly.
Hugging way.
Nice.
In a swarm of hugging rats.
They're a comforting swarm of rats.
AKA Strix.
A warm swarm.
Yes. Yeah. Strix in her rat swarm form. All right.
Swarm.
Swarm.
Hashtag warm swarm.
Swarm. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh no.
What?
Come on. Wait, I missed
Are you
something.
kidding? No.
20.
Roll initiative!
Whoa.
He's just yelling things.
Oh, what's up, Travis? I too got nat 20.
Oh, shit.
Wow. So what does that mean
15
total?
over here.
15?
25.
Okay, so 15
Oh,
for
yours
Evelyn,
better than me. Mine's 22.
25 for Diath, 22 for Magnus. Paltin?
15 for Evelyn.
15 for Evelyn.
Dirty 6.
I'm sorry, what?
I thought you said 36.
No, dirty 6.
36.
Hey man, you earned that 6.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Strix?
5.
Okay. All right. You are all inside a vaulted sewer chamber, 20 feet high, about 40 feet across, with 3 different tunnels leading into it, and also water and filth kind of dribbling down the walls through pipes in the ceiling. It stinks down here. It smells like troglodyte poo. And there's some light bleeding through what appears to be a grate high above in the middle of the ceiling. And it looks like the light of day pouring down into the sewers. You have been led here by Noska Urgray, who knows the path to where the Mind Flayer has been hiding out and abducting people. You are presently engaged in battle with said Mind Flayer, who stands in the middle of the room in sludge, wearing a leather gas mask over its face that has its tentacles coming out through it, and goggles over its opalescent eyes. And behind, or next to it, you can see 2 trolls wearing balls and chains, their feet shackled together by short lengths of chain so they can't really run too fast, though they can still move around. And floating all around you are spores. Not to mention what appeared to be 3 beholders. However, they are all sort of rotted and decayed. Some of their eye stalks have fallen away, and their central eyes are either just blind or gaping holes where the orbits used to be. Drool just sort of pouring out through their undead mouths. They are surrounded by what appear to be beholder-like balloons, smaller than the beholders, maybe about 3 feet across. But they kind of look like weird spherical orbs with false eyes and little stubby eye stalks coming off of them. One of them has already exploded in the room, filling it with spores. And I would like to know what Diath does next.
First thing that happens is throughout the entire chamber, you hear a record scratch, and then Diath turns to the camera and says, "Yep, that's me." Probably wondering how I ended up in this mess.
Oh no!
Probably wondering how we got here. Me too.
As the scene's frozen and you hear Diath's voiceover, you hear Paltin be like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing? You can't take someone's shtick like that, man. Like, come on."
All right. What?
So the first thing you guys need to know is that there are some corpses lying on the floor around you, what appear to be dead dung sweepers. You can see a dead, undead beholder and other just sort of globs of rotting flesh all about the room. You can also see what appear to be a couple dead intellect devourers, their little tiny clawed legs sticking up in the air. I would like you all to decide, before you act, Diath, you have lost a total of 100 hit points. What? Divide those up any way you want between you.
I want to go home.
Wait, just to clarify, we've had a rest since the day before, right?
That's correct.
Like,
yeah, so you're fresh minus 100 hit points, which
I will take
which you have
30
lost
of them.
which you have lost over the course of making it here, basically.
I'm happy to take 30 of them.
Okay.
I'll take 30 as well, but I uncanny dodge it down to 15.
No. Nosko will take 10, so that's 40
Okay.
and 30 is sorry.
I can take 10 as well.
Okay, so that's with Travis, Strix, and Noska. That's 50. There's 50 more. Do you
I
have-
can just take 50.
No, I'll take
I can
15.
I
Okay.
can take like 20.
Okay, so that leaves you with 15, Anna.
Are you guys sure? 'Cause
Yeah, it might be better if you have a lot right now.
Yeah, you need to have a lot. You let me take more. I have a bunch of hit points. Let me take like 20.
Yeah, also, Magnus can't heal. Magnus can only do like one thing.
No, I'm just saying, 15 away from my total is like nothing.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you might want to give me some more.
Well, you've got 2 fresh trolls, 3 undead beholders, a bunch of gas spores, and a mind
We've never
flayer.
even fought one beholder. This is. Yeah, I'll take 20. I'll take 20. I'm taking
Okay,
20.
Done. So 20 off of Paltin, 20 off of Strix, 15 off of Diath, 15 off of Evelyn, 10 off of Noska, and a shit ton off of Magnus. Diath?
All right, so where was the mind flayer placed in the room?
Sort of in
compared
the center with you guys and the 2 trolls. The beholders are kind of floating around the edges of the rooms along with their gas spores.
Okay, and you also had mentioned the the sewer pipes pouring water into the room.
Yeah, there's sludge there are high sewer pipes covered with sort of moss and mildew, and they're just sort of seeping out water down the walls into basically troughs on the floor.
Okay, that's not like a threat of flooding or anything like that.
No, it's just sort of a continuous filtered stream.
Okay, cool. Well, this will be fun.
This is sort of a junction chamber. It used to be sort of cordoned off with iron grates and things, but those grates were torn off their hinges or removed long ago.
All right, so that mind flayer's gonna die. So, all right, so Diath already having out Gutter, obviously, into this fight. With his offhand, he actually unsheathes the dagger from the front of his belt,
Okay.
and then makes a motion to throw the dagger at the Mind Flayer. But rather than actually throwing it, it's just misdirection, because as soon as the hand comes down, he misty steps behind it and then tries to backstab it with Gutter.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
Yep.
that's all I got.
You take the Mind Flayer by surprise as you appear behind it with your dagger in hand.
Yay.
And Gutter drawn as well.
25?
That
Hit.
hits.
Good.
You pierce through its leather armor.
I'll start off right then. And that's with several d6s. Oh. All the numbers. are
2?
low. There's a lot of those. 6, 11, 15, 21, 36 total points of damage.
Okay. It does not like that.
I don't like that it had time to think if it didn't like it or not.
All right.
Did we get the potion Strix mentioned earlier?
The what?
The brain stuff.
Magnus, what do you do?
With Diath behind, do I have advantage?
So you do have advantage on the Mind Flayer. You also see the two trolls that are kind of guarding the Mind Flayer are turning their hungry eyes upon Diath.
Yeah, they're trolls.
So I would have to probably get past the trolls to get to the Mind Flayer.
No, you could storm right up to the Mind Flayer, no problem there.
I would like to do that,
Okay.
and then I,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was going to say that will provoke opportunity attacks from the trolls because they have reach.
Okay, well then instead of that, you said there's a grate up above. I'm going to use the grappling hook to jump over the
Okay.
trolls.
Okay. Just make an athletics strength athletics check. Not a
16.
that succeeds.
Okay, and then I'm going to attack the Mind Flayer 6 times with the Flaming Raging Poison Exhort of Doom.
Excellent.
That's a 22.
Yay.
That's a hit.
Okay, now lots of math. Okay, it's a hit. That's 28
Okay.
points of damage. And then 17.
That is a miss. That seems to bounce off of what is like sort of like a
Then-
psionic shield.
Going to use my superiority dice for what is it? To use it on precision attack to roll an extra dice.
Okay.
That's a 10. So actually 25.
You pierce its psychic shield.
So that's 25 points of damage.
Oof. Okay.
And then 13, that's not going to do it, but I'm going to do precision attack again.
Okay.
And so that would be 18.
That is a hit.
That does 27 points of damage.
Okay.
And then 26.
Oh, yes.
And then that's 30 points of damage.
Okay.
And then 17, which I know is a miss, so I'm going to
Correct.
use another precision attack. 3 of 4 that I can do. And that's a 20.
Okay, that's a hit.
Evelyn has a similar moment to Paltin earlier where like you can't just take so much.
That's 27 points of damage.
Very good.
And then
Is this
19.
why?
Yep.
And then, that's only 25 points of damage.
Oh, my.
Oh no.
Okay.
And then an 18.
That's a hit.
And that's 32 points of damage.
Okay,
Oh,
so
thank God.
so he
And I helped.
yeah. So you hop
You
up.
did help.
You're kind of, I guess, hanging from the rope. Is that right? As you're making.
Well, I imagine kind of a zip down.
Okay.
Kind
So
of
when
a
you kind of
triangle.
land next to him, you just go full Cuisinart, and this whirling blade just sort of slices and dices this Mind Flayer until it's into tiny little pieces, and its head just sort of floats in the air for a second, staring off into oblivion, and then falls upon the pile of severed flesh.
Is that why we're fighting all this shit? Because he's here and like.
Yeah, it's not us. It's not us.
All right. The Mind Flayer would normally go, but it is now kaput. The trolls, its thralls, will turn to Magnus and angrily try to tear him to pieces.
Fair. That is fair. Yeah.
I was kind of hoping like it would give her the mind control or something, but this is fine.
What is the AC of one Magnus Burnsides?
With the shield out, 20.
Okay. So one of the trolls rakes you with its claws and also hits you with its bite. And it does... wait, D6s. My D6s, there we go. It does a total of 18 points of damage to you, Magnus.
Okay.
And then the second one is only going to hit you with one claw, and it does 11 points. So a total of 29 points of damage from the trolls.
Okay.
And they just are screaming insanities at you, and it is Evelyn's turn.
Evelyn's like looking at her own flaming sword, kind of
Yeah.
having one of those moments of like the Charlie Brown like doo 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 doo. But she jumps in and tries to help with the trolls. That seems to be what's threatening Magnus the most right now, right?
Yes.
So yeah, she'll jump in with the Heart of Spinelli
Okay.
and rolls a 19.
That is a hit.
So she does 18
Okay.
damage.
All right.
And then she's going to take one more swing. Same dude.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 15.
And your sword is on fire right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 15 hits.
Yeah. Part of that is fire damage. I don't know
Yeah,
if that...
no, that's great. When you hit it with fire, you can see that the wounds that you leave in its flesh, you've known trolls to regenerate before. This one cannot regenerate the fiery damage.
Burn with the fiery power of the Morning Lord.
All right. And did you roll your second damage? Okay.
In
Is it undead?
20.
The troll is alive.
Oh.
It takes
right.
20 more.
Okay. The troll is sliced by the fire. You see fear reflected in its black eyes as the flames dig deep into its warty flesh.
Neat.
Evelyn does one attack and then two, and then she like looks like she wishes she could do another one, and she's like, looks at Magnus.
I think you did a great job. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Paltin.
Thanks, battle buddy.
You see Magnus, Evelyn engaged in combat, and Dieth engaged in combat with the two ball and chained trolls. And then you see these three undead beholders floating about 20 feet above, watching all of this unfold.
And these beholders are, you said they're 20 feet up?
Yep. And each of them is surrounded by three floaty balloon-like gas spores.
Is there anything that's maybe roughly, I don't know, 5 feet tall that I could get on top of? There's a particular range I would like to meet.
Yeah, so you can essentially climb up onto Waffles, your friendly neighborhood owlbear.
Would that count as my action?
That's part of your movement, so you still have an
Okay,
action.
that'd be- okay, cool. I'm gonna just like walk up to Waffles and be like, "Sorry, excuse me, hi."
Oh,
I like give Waffles like a little pet when I like get on top. And like,
Yep.
Okay, good, very good. And then from up there, I want to thunderwave those beholders
Okay.
at 5th level, if I may.
Ooh.
All right. You could get, since they're all sort of spread out in different parts of the room, you could get one beholder and its three gas spore buddies.
I'll take it
All
since
right.
I'm up here.
Groovy. And they have to make a saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not going to roll for the gas spores, but the beholder zombie failed.
Cool. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, D8.
two things that should never be together. Beholder and zombie.
So we got, let's see here. Great. 5.
I love that there's still people in the chat talking about how much damage I did. I am also sorry. I know.
That is 23.
All right. So a ripple of thunderous energy washes over the beholder. It blows up all 3 of the gas spores around it, and their spores just begin to sort of settle and pervade around the room. The zombie is still alive, but sort of blasted backwards. It kind of bounces off the back wall with a squishing noise.
Neat.
And leaves bits of itself kind of stuck on the jagged walls. It's actually sort of impaled on a sticking out pipe for a second. It has to kind of peel itself off. And you just hear this sort of sucking sound as it comes off.
Ooh, tasty.
And then it sort of rolls back around to face you, Paltin, and just sort of glares at you with its 4 remaining eye stalks.
It looks at me, I'm just like, behold these nuts, bitch.
Got him.
Oh my god.
Strix!
Sorry, I'm just snorting. Oh my, how can I follow that?
Good question.
There's some new flair for the subreddit.
Oh my god. Okay. I guess I will. The mind flayer is dead, and the trolls are.
Yes.
I guess I could burn the trolls, but by doing a fireball, I can pretty much encompass everyone in this room.
Yeah.
So, let's burn the crap out of everyone.
So fireball goes ground 0.
I mean, I would like to do 5th level, so
All right.
I would like to make it
And how
large.
many creatures can you
Y'all
sculpt it
showing off
around?
today.
I'm gonna exclude the party and Magnus, obviously, and Waffles.
Okay, you can get
don't-
everybody.
Yeah, I think that should be everyone. Oh, and who's with us? What's their
Nazca.
Nazca.
name? Nazca and Nazca.
Okay.
And I don't think Simon is there, right?
Simon is, that's a good question. I'll leave that up to Paltin to decide whether he left Simon back at the inn or brought him here.
Waffles is here, right?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, but Waffles is
so-
a killing machine. I guess Simon is.
Simon is literally a killing machine.
I'll say if we brought Waffles, I would have brought
Okay,
Simon.
great.
who
Okay,
also
then
could
he
be
is
guarding
also.
things.
Yeah, he is also excluded then.
He's just sort of riding on Waffle's neck.
Okay.
Good boy.
All right. So flames fill the room. People in the city above are aghast as some flames shoot up through the grate into the street above.
Neat.
It's only 35 damage, but
Only 35 damage, you say?
yeah, everyone's
What's the DC?
16.
Okay. So first troll
didn't roll
failed.
very well.
Second troll failed. First beholder zombie failed. Second beholder zombie succeeded, so takes half.
Also, I'm really happy to be casting this because I can't do it out in the streets, and so
Yeah.
I'm just like, wee!
And the third one succeeded, takes half. All of the gas spores are blown to bits, and your flame also incinerates a lot of their spores that are kind of
Oh,
settling
excellent.
over you.
I'm real happy about being useful.
It also
instead
kind
of
of
killing
burns.
party
It also kind
members.
of burns away some of the stench that pervades the room.
I probably don't notice that.
Probably not. And so when the fire subsides, the trolls and the beholder zombies are the only creatures left in the room. Nazca will fire off his crossbow at one of the trolls, and he will hit it.
I really love the image of like us all doing these multiple attacks and thunder wave and fireball. Then Nas is just like boing.
He's doing his
Yeah.
best.
His shot goes clean through the ears of one of the trolls, and it falls back dead on the ground.
Wow, my
Is
phone
that
is
the one
going
I
a
was
little
in
more.
melee with?
It is the one that you were in melee with, yes.
I turn to Nazca and I give him a little nod, like,
And then he just sort of gestures for you to look back at the troll. And when you do, you see one of those intellect devourers phase out of its head onto the ground. And it just starts scuttling around.
Was it like attached to its head or just
It
nearby?
it was where its brain used to be, so it was in its cranium. And now
Like
has
Animorphs.
phased out
Good.
in search of a new host. Let's see. So we're down to one troll, and the beholder zombies go. All right. One of the beholder zombies, the one that Paltin attacked, will target it with an eye ray. Paltin, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
How close are you to Evelyn?
Ooh, question of the day. How close am
I
I?
don't know.
Probably not within 10 feet at this point.
Damn.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, that's cool. All right, big
Told
money,
y'all
big money,
stay
big
close
money.
to me.
Okay, so, ow.
Okay.
Okay.
Paltin
I
is
mean, unless, a 4
okay.
gets it.
A green ray launches from one of the eye stalks of this undead beholder, strikes Paltin in the chest, and Paltin takes 45 force damage.
That's not nothing.
No, wait, back up. Okay. How much?
45.
Okay. Just like, all right, guys, gonna take a little snoozy.
Wait. What, do you have any hit points left?
Huh?
Do you have any
I
hit
am
points left?
unconscious.
So
You
you're
only have 45, total.
so you're at 0?
Well, I had because they took that 20 before we got in here.
I told you not to
How-
take that.
How close is
Oh,
Paltin to me?
Well, hang on. So, Paltin, are you at 0 currently?
Yeah.
Okay, if the damage reduces the creature to 0 hit points, it is reduced to a pile of fine gray dust.
how close? How close is Paltin to me?
He's about 20 feet away.
Okay.
No.
Wait, is it a disintegration
You can't do that
ray?
It's a disintegration ray.
That's fine. We have a scroll of resurrection. It's fine.
Okay, so Paltin is struck by this ray, and then you just see this explosion of dust, and
Evelyn screams.
he's gone.
Blood-curdling scream.
Okay. A couple kids up in the streets above hear a scream emanate from the grate that this flame just shot out of, and begin to sort of peer down into the darkness. All right. Paltin's gear by the graded, so it just sort of all like War of the Worlds style kind of falls and cascades around him.
Mr.
bad.
Perkins, I don't feel so good.
All right, the second beholder.
Nate,
Fucking.
actually, Holly, you know what? Okay, yeah.
What?
The
So when
second
you say dust,
dust,
you
are turned to dust.
For Paul.
Disintegration spell, unfortunately.
fucking.
It
Just,
makes your portrait go gray
The
out
Paul-
Baldur's Gate.
wow, just.
Yep.
If only you were closer to me.
All right, the second beholder will fire a black crackling ray at Evelyn, who has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Come at me, bro. 22.
Okay, you succeed and take half damage from the beam and take 18 necrotic damage.
Barely a scratch.
And then Strix, the third beholder is going to fire a beam
me.
at you. You see a pink ray launch itself at you, and you have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's 16.
You are successful and suffer no ill effect.
Okay. It wasn't going to dominate me, was it?
You're not sure. All right.
I hate this.
The beholders are all done at this point, which brings us to
Oh, are they?
Waffles.
Great.
Waffles sees this sort of shower of fine dust all around it, and then goes barreling with Simon riding on her back, at the sole remaining troll. And just sort of rears up and launches herself at it, tearing into it with her bite and missing with her claws. But the bite does a fair amount of damage. The troll is still alive, after getting chewed out by the owlbear. And it is Diath's turn.
Okay, so 1 troll remains and 3 beholders.
That's correct.
And the brain with legs.
And the brain with legs that just came out of the dead
With the
troll.
legs with brain, however you want to look at it.
Okay. Dieth will just swiftly step towards that intellect devour and try to quick finish it before it does any other awful shit.
That's probably wise.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Appreciate the reassurance right now.
Yeah.
That is 25.
You hit it.
Good. No sneak attack or anything. It's just
You have advantage because Evelyn is close to it.
Oh, sick. Well, then just to make sure. Okay. All right. Blar. Why the ones? Why so many ones?
Because, Jared, this is dice camera action.
Because it's me.
Were you mistaken for having fun? Just kidding.
23, little fucker.
Yeah, you kill it.
Good.
All right. It's 21 hit points. Can't hold up against your wrathful strike.
Yay. I would like to use my cunning action to dash to Evelyn.
Okay.
And I'm just going to stay right near that aura.
Okay.
I think I'm by it too, right?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
you
good.
are. Yeah, the only one who sort of ran off was Paltin because he ran up to Waffles and got on board.
Yeah,
Magnus.
really quick.
Yeah.
Like between just like before next turn, just another record scratch, another freeze frame. Imagine, if you will, Paltin walking out. He's clearly not there, just like in front of the screen.
Yeah.
And he just turns straight forward and goes, "What the fuck, Perkins? Come on!" Carry on.
Walks off screen.
Yeah, like that, like the Emperor's New Groove scene.
Yeah.
It's like, hi, hey, yeah. It's
Okay, so left are the 3 beholders.
3
and
beholders.
1 troll.
And the 1 troll.
Okay, I am going to first scooch closer to everybody else, so we're all back together.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to switch to the Chance Lance and throw that at one of the beholders.
Okay, there's one beholder that's...
The one that he hit with the thunder wave.
Okay, that one's the worst off.
Yeah. 23.
That is it.
And then the chance. 9 points of damage. Not that much.
Okay. It sort of
And then-
impales in its soft flesh.
And I call it back and throw it again. Well, that is a 1, but luckily I have gambler's luck on my tooth necklace that lets me re-roll 1s on attack.
Very good.
Yay.
Okay, that's a 1 again. Okay, 27.
I'm sorry, what was the second roll?
27.
Okay, that's a hit.
And then that's 9 points of damage again. Yes.
All right. Math hard. There we go. Okay, that beholder's still alive.
And I'm going
Albeit
to throw
very
it one
badly
more
hurt.
time. I mean,
Okay.
it's my 3rd attack.
Yep.
23.
Hit.
6 points of damage.
Okay, it yet lives. Little floating sacks of hit points.
That's what I got.
Okay, great. So that is Magnus, and it is the troll's turn. No, yes, the troll's turn. It is pretty single-mindedly going to... Oh, it's got so many choices. What's it going to go after? It's going to go after Evelyn. However, it didn't roll higher than a 6 on its d20 roll. So Evelyn, you're able to easily deflect this troll's raking claws and its biting teeth.
I swat it like
Yep.
it's like a fly.
Yep. And then we come to your turn, Evelyn.
Evelyn screams, runs over to the pile of dust.
That will provoke from the
trying-
troll if you care.
She takes it.
Okay.
Trying to-
It rolled a 4, so
Cool.
yep.
She's trying to gather the dust into a pile,
Okay.
muttering,
Is Nate bringing drinks?
I told him to stay close. I told him to stay close to me. I told him. And that's all she does.
Okay. Yeah, he's very, very fine powder. It's not even like ash, which is sort of flaky. It's just sort of like very granular.
I imagine it's probably all over her too. It's like on her knees.
It even
Oh yeah, everyone's asking if he still has the snake person gift. Can he still? Does that still count?
the what?
Oh, the snake.
Well, you can't
person.
die, or is that not active anymore after Chris? What Chris is?
So Evelyn, you notice that this dust even smells like Paltin still.
Ew, no. She's trying to put it back together. She's not
Okay.
ingesting it.
Didn't the Snursing gift only last like 30 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, that's gone.
Like the death ward?
Yeah,
I think it was 30 days, but yeah.
yeah, it's gone.
No. We went on
Yeah,
boat
it's
for 30 days.
it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
Don't mind me.
Great vodka.
Okay, so that's Evelyn's turn, which will bring us to Paltin, and then Strix.
Your voice. Oh darn! Gosh, guess we'll have to skip over him, Dusty McDustface.
Yeah.
Okay, I noticed that.
Yeah, you see Evelyn weeping over.
Take note. Tired of that happening. Look over. I can't deal with that emotional trauma. Who is left for the beholders over there?
Who is left for the beholders?
Are there 2 beholders left?
There are 3 beholders left.
There are 3
one of
beholders
which
left.
is
Oh
quite badly hurt.
gosh! Oh dear.
There's also a troll really, really close to you, fighting Waffles
Okay.
and Evelyn. Or not Evelyn anymore.
Okay. Are the beholders clustered together?
No.
Okay. Can't do that. Okay. Well, then I am just going to try and twin spell polymorph 2 of the beholders.
Okay, what are you trying to turn them into?
Since we're in a
Piles of
sewer, I mean, since we're in a sewer, I'll try rats.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, the very, very wounded one turns into a rat,
Oh, thank God.
then falls, takes damage, and turns back into a beholder.
Come on.
No!
But when it hits the ground and goes splat like a rat and turns back into a beholder, it's now kind of on the ground, lying on its side, rather confused.
Kick it.
The other one
Rick actually screams, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
the other one resists. Morphed. Roll damage 2d6 for the falling damage. The rat will
8
okay,
points
so
of damage.
It will take 7 points of damage. Okay. So that beholder on the ground is still alive, albeit a little bit perplexed.
I'm so upset. Can I? I can do quicken spell to give myself a bonus action.
You sure can.
Spell. So I'm then going to use my sorcery points to quicken spell another fireball. I was just like, fuck! Just
Okay.
like fireball.
More waves of fire fill the room. The kids up top are sort of blown back as flames
the
shoot
normal
up through the
one,
grate. I will make saving throws for the troll
Such bullshit.
and the zombies.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, 1 second. Okay, that one was 32, even though it was a normal one. I rolled better.
32.
Yeah.
Okay, the beholder on the ground is incinerated. You blow it to pieces as flames course through its body. Really nothing's left but ashes and bits of decayed, burnt flesh. The 2 floating beholders are still alive. One of them took more damage than the other, basically caught the full brunt of the fireball. The other one only caught part of it. The troll took all of that damage and is incinerated as well, collapsing into a pile, at which point the intellect devourer in its skull phases out, untouched by the flames. So there are 2 beholders and an intellect devourer left. And it
So it's
is,
just like
it is Waffle's turn. Waffles can only attack the intellect devourer, so she's going to go after that, and she just gobbles it up.
Good.
Little legs sticking out from under her beak, and then they're gone.
Brain.
No more intellect devourers. There are 2 floaty beholders, both scorched by flames. You can see Waffles look confused because she doesn't know what else to attack at this point. I guess she's done. Simon will just hang out on Waffles' back, and Noska will attempt to shoot one of the beholder zombies, succeeding. And it takes 19 points of damage and is still alive. The beholders go. Evelyn is off with Paltin's remains. The rest of you are clustered around Magnus. Beholder number 1 is going to target Evelyn with a green disintegration ray. Evelyn, make a dexterity saving throw.
Well, Thander, help us.
I was hoping we would just have a nice day.
Oh no.
Oh, come on, Anna. Come on.
6?
Oh, no, no. All right, I'm going to roll the damage.
But a lot of hit points.
Magnus, Travis is now just like, don't do this to them.
Evelyn's literally like back to the beholder, like, I told him to stay. No, this can't. I can't. I told him to stay close.
Evelyn, you take 44 points of damage.
Okay.
Do you have any hit
I
points
think
left?
when I still have 44. You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still okay.
Okay, good.
She that happens, and she just her eyes blaze, and she kind of turns around, and she's like, ah! And she stands up with her flaming sword.
Okay.
Can't do anything.
Paltin's like watching from a theater, just like, ooh, that's gonna be good.
All right. Magnus, you are targeted by the second beholder. A pink ray lances forth at you. You have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Well, that's bad, but good news. I'm going to use Indomitable,
Okay.
because otherwise it would have been a 7.
Okay.
Oh, that's better. 19.
Okay, you resist the effect, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. We are back at the top with Diath Woodrow. There are 2 damaged beholders floating above.
They're all floaty and stuff.
They're floaty and stuff.
I can't reach
They're
that.
20 feet up.
You've got a dagger.
A thrust. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Dieth will.
You can do it. I believe in you.
You have never seen me throw a dagger.
A new one works fine.
No, it doesn't. Remember the first time I used it?
Shh, it's fine. Don't tell him.
Yeah, Dieth will just take his magic dagger, just try to throw it at whichever one shot Evelyn just now. He throws it
Okay.
at that one.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack.
Complete with a. Ah!
Oh no.
Yeah.
12.
12. That does not hit.
That was after a +9.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Dagger comes back to your hand.
Yup.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Magnus, you see the dagger hit nothing, return to his hand.
You tried, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Father Magnus.
We all heard that.
It's okay. We'll talk about it later. There's a lot to unpack. So the first thing Magnus is going to do is fish the holy symbol out of his pocket that he stole from whatever, Father Lightbelly or whatever.
Sunbright? Yeah.
Yep. Sunbright. And say, Evelyn, catch! And I throw it to Evelyn.
Evelyn, just make a dexterity check to catch it. Not a hard one.
19.
You're good.
Is that anything? I have no idea what that is. Can you use that?
You see it is a bejeweled holy symbol. Make a wisdom insight check.
These new dice are fire. 20.
You sense that there is some magic embedded in this thing, but more than that, You think you recognize this symbol. You have seen it worn on an individual before, somebody you haven't seen in years. Back when you briefly stayed in Daggerford, you sort of hung out at the local temple there, and the priest there, one Father Luke Sunbright,
Sunbright, right.
wore this prominently while he was basically giving sermons. And
Does that mean I know what kind of magical properties it has?
No.
This gives Evelyn pause. And interestingly enough, I actually have this like physical symbol. It's at my office, but S. Schultz on Twitter sent it to me. I have this. It's crazy. But
you also, with your insight, you also realize that the sunlight streaming through the grate overhead is sort of falling upon you and the dust pile that used to be Paltin. And you can see the beholder is all eyes staring at you right now. You think this symbol is so bright, you could reflect that light and possibly
is it my turn?
blind
Can I do
it.
something?
Oh, that was, so Magnus just chucked you that
Yeah.
thing. So it is in fact your turn.
I like try to reflect light with it, I guess,
Okay.
into the beholder's eyes. Just
Yeah, so you hold it in the sun beam and you kind of shine it, flash it across the beholder's eyes.
the light of Lathander compels you.
And it has to make a Constitution saving throw. And it rolled a 5. So you see all the beholder's eyes flick and close and sort of turn away. And the beholder just sort of bump into a wall as it tries to get away from the light.
Ah.
Is that my action, using an object? Or could I also attack?
You can use an object basically as a free action on your turn. So,
Sick. So I can also attack.
yeah.
Okay. So that one is bumping up against the wall. Where's the other one?
The other one is on the far side of the vaulted chamber, closer to your friends
Okay.
than you.
The one that I'm facing is the one that came at me, right?
That's right. And it
All
is
right,
currently
well,
it is currently blinded, so you would have advantage on attack rolls against it.
Yeah, it's getting the heart of Spinelli right in its bulbous body.
Mm-hmm.
That's 22.
All right, so you launch yourself at it and embed your flaming sword into its bulbous body. Roll damage.
23.
Okay. It's still alive.
And she's just like, because it's like face against the wall, and she's brutal, like Princess Bride ROUS's scene, just like the just over and over again, pulling it out and sticking it back in. This is a nat 20.
Oh, scary stuff. Okay, so roll all your damage twice, and then add your bonuses.
12, 13, 18, plus, okay, 22. 35. And the modifier only once or twice?
Once.
35.
Okay, you kill it with fire and steel, and the blind beholder falls dead and goes splash down onto the floor.
That was awesome.
Evelyn's just standing there. Evelyn's standing there with like dust up to her elbows with a flaming sword in her hand, like staring down at this mush and just going, like you've never seen her so angry.
All right. Then it is Strix's turn.
Hey.
Hi.
How's it going?
Hi, welcome.
Welcome to Strix's Fireball Factory. So upset. Okay, so are both the beholders blind?
No, just one was blinded by the flashing light of the holy symbol.
Great. Okay, so that one is blind, so it can't cast its
dead.
things. Oh, okay.
The blind
okay.
one is dead.
Okay, good.
Evelyn
So there's
just-
only one left.
There's one left. It's been burned by your previous fireball.
Okay. Is there a way that I could cast darkness on its head?
Sure, you could. Darkness is basically a 20-foot radius.
Right. But it's above us, though, so.
It is.
Okay.
It would also blot out your friend's view of it.
That's right. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. Ugh. Okay. You know what? Evelyn looks real mad, so I'm actually going to quicken spell to make it a bonus action, haste
Okay.
on Evelyn.
All right, Evelyn, you are hasted.
And that means you have a bunch of really cool bonuses. And then I'm going to try and is it less than half its hit points?
It's got more than half its hit points.
It's got more than half its hit points. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna have to do another fireball. Whoops.
All right. People up in the city are very confused by what's happening down here.
Well, hopefully
All right.
they're having a good time.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. So that's just the normal 8. 5, 12, 28.
Okay, it takes half of that. As it's lightly singed. And then Noska will take a shot at it with his crossbow. He will hit it. He'll do 19 more points of damage to it. It is now has fewer than half its hit points left. Clearly, it's in pretty bad shape. Pieces of it are sloughing off.
Good.
And then it is going to fire a disintegration ray at you, Strix.
Cool.
Make a
Sort of fucking
make
guy
a
Chris
dexterity saving throw.
Cool. Great. Cool. Oh, yay. Okay. That's 16, 17.
Bum, 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 bum. You are successful.
Ha!
Oh, heart can't take
Yeah.
this.
You dodge out of the way.
Look at your paper faster, Chris.
You dodge the beam and don't get hit. Plus. At that point, the beholder just sort of yawns.
Yawns!
Yes, and you see a tiny little beholder fly out of its mouth
The fuck?
I hate
and
this.
immediately sort of disappear into the nearest pipe. It's like the little tiny beholder that you saw at the docks who was alongside the tiefling child.
I hate this.
Yeah, this baseball-sized beholder comes out of its mouth and then disappears into a pipe.
Is it like a tiny pipe?
It's a creature could fit down this pipe or squeeze down this pipe if it were, agile. Dieth could fit because he's not particularly heavily armored or anything. Evelyn could fit because she's kind of small, but Strix could fit as a swarm of rats, no problem. I don't know what Magnus has got in his bag of tricks. He might just try to, cram his way down.
Yeah,
it's almost
Magnus
certainly
is a
something.
burly boy. It's not.
Yeah, it's almost something he'd have to crawl. At least it would be like Bruce Willis in Die Hard crawling through the vents, basically.
Come to Waterdeep, they said. Have a good
Right. Okay. So you all see this little baby beholder fly out of the undead beholder's mouth and then disappear into a pipe, and that's it for
What
its
the
turn.
fuck? Are they supposed to do that?
And then Dieth, what do you do?
Can I just say, chat goes, Paltin could fit, he's Ash.
Oh, no.
Paltin watching also sees that in chat, he's like, that was good.
Yeah,
That was funny.
that's good. Yeah.
Cold-blooded.
It's too fast.
real.
It's too fast for us to be making jokes. So
Not ready.
this pipe that this small holder went into,
Yeah.
was that like high up or
It's
nearby?
about 20 feet up, but there are all kinds of little protrusions out of the walls and things, and bits of iron sticking out and stuff like that. So it would not be arduous to get up there.
All right. I'm gonna like hop off and around some pipes and things and make
Yeah.
my way up there.
Yeah, there's
Just
actually a
quick-
piece of what looked like an iron bridge that may have crossed at a higher threshold at one point, just sort of fell and kind of banged up against the wall and just sort of rusted there. You can kind of clamber up that and then leap over onto.
Yeah, it's very swift,
Yeah.
and then I'm see if I can see it down inside this pipe at all.
Okay. Yeah, when you can see that the pipe is wonderfully greased. It's got all sorts of mildew and filth encrusted upon it, so you think you can slip in there pretty good. It's kind of stinky because it's stuff spilling out basically from sewers of the city. But
Can I see the little guy in there?
you're a human. Let's see. Your range of vision isn't great, so no. You'd have to like light something.
Yeah, I don't think I can chase it and
Yeah.
actually reach it. Like, look, if I got it, I would be on hands and knees and crawling pretty much, right?
Oh yes, yeah. But you'd be able to navigate it pretty well, but
Yeah, but he'll just outspeed me. Fine. All right, from where I am, just noticing that he's gone, I'll turn back to the beholder and just the dagger right at that.
okay.
While I'm hanging out up here.
All right.
It looks real cool.
Yeah.
So cool that, well, my roll wasn't terrible. 22.
That's it.
Good. 9 damage.
9 damage. All right. It is still alive, but in bad shape.
Good.
So you're hanging up here with it. Magnus, you see Diath hanging off the wall, stabbing this thing.
Yes. So one of my attacks, I am going to look at Evelyn and say, hit it again! And use commanding strike or commander strike and give her a +6 bonus
Hello.
to her attack. No, to damage.
Oh, okay, great. So, Evelyn, you got +6 on damage on her next attack. Is that right?
Well, so no, she attacks right now.
Oh, right now.
So basically,
Oh,
she takes an
you're giving
attack
her
as
your
my
action,
first
kind of.
attack.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
then I still get 2 more attacks.
Got
but
it.
so for my first attack, Evelyn gets to take it with +6 damage.
Does she also get like crazy haste advantage and stuff on her swing too, or?
Holly, what are all the benefits of the haste?
Oh, here, let me check real quick.
Look, I found the holy symbol while she's looking.
Oh yeah, there it is. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I actually lost.
Thanks,
my
S.
phone.
Schultz on Twitter. It's actually bejeweled symbol of Lathander
Yeah.
made of brass.
That's it.
It's amazing, and you can just keep it around to I don't know, bless things.
Evelyn's like,
Okay, so you get a +2 bonus to AC, and you have advantage on dexterity saving throws, and you gain an additional action on each of your turns.
what?
Oh.
And said that action can be used only to take the attack action, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action.
But that'll be on your turn.
Yeah, that's all in your
Yeah.
turn. So +2 bonus to AC, advantage on dexterity saving throws, and you get a bonus act. You get another action, not a bonus action, but an actual action.
Because this isn't a real turn. This is a commander's turn.
Correct.
Yeah. But your real turn, you'll get another action.
Okay.
And really quick, can I just point out, when anyone else dies, it's so sad and traumatizing, et cetera, Paltin gets disintegrated, and the chat is just fire jokes right now.
What are you laughing at? What did they say?
The chat. Okay, so first, the 2 shout outs I just want to say, Paltin wants to say real quick, are new name, Ashton. And the follow up tour is the Drunk Off My Ash tour.
Oh, no!
Wow.
You started this with the memes.
good.
You opened this floodgate.
It's
really good.
It shouldn't be so good. It's carry on.
This is how you'd want to go out. Just kidding.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
It is the most appropriate funeral, though it hurts.
As
Okay, anyway, so-
Magnus's words marshal you into action, Evelyn, a sending spell taps into your mind and says, Evelyn Marthane, if this is you, this is Luke Sunbright at the spires of the morning. Come visit. Let's catch up. I have something to show you.
You up?
Leave him on red. Leave him on red.
Evelyn's looking at the thing and she hears this, she's looking at the symbol and she hears this and she looks at the dust on the ground and she looks up and she's like, come on!
Lathander's being a troll.
Yeah. She just declines that call real quick
Okay.
and ignites the flaming sword, goes to the other beholder.
All right. Make your attack.
16.
That is a hit.
For 15 damage.
Is that with the 6?
Oh no, not with the 6, 21.
With the 6, you kill it. You slash clean through it, and it falls away. Evelyn, as it goes down in flames and falls away, you see Diath standing before you, hanging off the wall.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, all of your enemies are dead. We are out of initiative.
The sending spell that she just kind of like put on hold, was it something that she would like respond to, or was it just something?
Yeah,
that
she can respond with up to 25 words if she so chooses.
So all the baddies die. Palton's still watching. He's just like, all right, it's over. It's going to be a dream sequence. Watch. Just like watch. Tapping whoever's next to him in the theater. It's like, it's not real. Watch.
It's Falcon.
Aw.
It's everyone we've killed in the
Oh
theater.
dear, yeah.
Weird. This theater's sold out.
Escher is sitting right next to him,
It's everyone we've
trying to
killed.
hold his hand.
Asher is just throwing little bits of popcorn at Palton's head from a couple rows back. Yeah.
He's like trying to sneak a hand onto his legs. Like, no, not right now. This is good for it.
Irena's bringing some popcorn.
Yeah,
in.
Esmeralda's somewhere. Okay.
Are these all people you've killed? Because I'm getting.
Oh yeah.
These are all
There's a lot of people.
dead guest
Oh,
stars.
yeah.
People we've loved and killed.
An actual child also arrived.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. The little girl that you killed. Yeah.
So sorry.
Looking charred, sitting in one
Yeah,
of the seats.
it's like that scene in American Werewolf in London where all the dead people that you mauled
Yeah.
corner you in the theater and tell you to kill yourself. All right.
No jokes. This isn't funny, you guys.
Okay. So you're all in
so
the
it's
Just
stinking
going to
sewer.
immediately try and sweep up those ashes into a safe place. So you got to get them all. You got to get them all.
Yeah.
There was mention of a scroll. Someone said something about a scroll. Is that? Is that something?
So yeah, I have a scroll of resurrection, but I don't know if that's the kind of resurrection that we need for this. I know magic, but I don't know if it's that good of magic because he is disintegrated. Like, oh my gosh, he is so dead. But that's okay. We've all been so dead at least twice.
Noska sort of stands over Strix as you're collecting everything, and he says, "So you have an opening now, then?"
I actually.
You take that up with Dieth. He's our leader. I don't want to talk to you.
And then,
I
and
have
then,
a connection.
Glares at
and then Noska sort of comes over, sees Evelyn, and says, "Hey."
I actually
Good
have
job.
a connection that might be able to help if you got the resurrection spell. I kind of have an in with the Raven Queen.
Whoa. What?
Yeah, I know a couple of people that work for her.
I mean, she's really
He's gonna be
scary.
so
though.
mad.
Yeah, I mean, like,
We met her. We met her in person.
We
yeah,
know that the Raven Queen has a specific connection to Paltin, right?
So it would seem.
Yeah.
She has.
Yeah,
she
we
has,
know.
She
Wait,
has at the
shit,
very
I'm not
least.
there.
She has at the very least an interest in Paltin beyond the norm.
I know a couple like Reapers. I could probably get a message to her and see if that's something that she could maybe help us out with.
Usually we ask Lathander.
Evelyn
Strix will just like look at Evelyn like,
Evelyn's like, oh yeah, presses the like unhold button. She's like, hey, so nice to hear from you. Totally would love to catch up. See you real soon. Hope you don't mind me asking for a little favor. Okay, bye. Let's go to the spires.
were you talking to that cookie?
Dieth will approach Evelyn at this point and kind of like hands on the shoulder and like just kind of face her like just right, like just eye to eye. Just be like, Evelyn, are you okay? Look at me, right here, Evelyn. It will be okay. Stay with me. Stay
No, it
focused.
won't. How could it possibly be okay?
Has to
Well,
be.
I have another thing I can maybe help out with. It's not as interesting. Hold on one second. And Magnus pulls out his pocket workshop, which is the pocket dimension he has. That's his wood shop.
Of course.
And he ducks into
We
it.
don't
real
even
quick.
have a house.
As one has.
Yeah. He ducks into it real quick and comes back with a bag of 2,000 golds and hands it to Evelyn. It's like, this will like grease some palms if you want to like do that. Usually there's like some kind of like donation process with church, right? You pay for a resurrection or whatever. So this should help.
How much more gold do you have in there? What?
I'm doing pretty good.
Can we get more than that then?
I mean, it's not Listen, we just met. We've only known each other like 36 hours.
Do you have unlimited cookies in there too?
No, well,
Strix, we're kind of busy right now. Can we not think about cookies?
I'm
please?
sorry. It's a coping
That's right.
mechanism.
Evelyn, you focus. We know what we need to do, and we have to go do it. You keep your
Get
mind
all
on
the
that
ashes,
until it's
every
over.
single one. Do you have
Strix.
all of them?
The ashes? Yeah. I'm
You've
good at
collected
thinking
all the ashes that you could find.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
like
I-
licking. I'm actually licking my finger and like touching it on the ground and like trying.
Stop.
No, I'm getting them all. I got them all.
I
It's
do
a little
think
sack.
if we go to the spires, I do think that they probably have the power to bring him back, right? In some way or another.
You think it's within the power of the temple to raise the dead. Now, they need a body, typically.
Oof.
If
I
ever
know-
Lysander was going to help me, it has got to be now.
Do I know
Go
if
to
this
the
scroll
spires.
that I have is true resurrection or just resurrection?
I feel like it was true resurrection.
It came from the hells and was big, so I'm guessing it might be true resurrection.
Yeah, it's true resurrection.
Good. And I'm just like, well, then don't worry, I got this, and I
Yeah.
like pull it
But
out
you-
of my robe
But
somehow.
you know that a spell that high level, even cast on a scroll, if you're not high enough to actually be able to cast the spell, there's a chance the spell could fail.
Right. Well, we'll have to. Strix will hold it up and say, wherever she gets it from inside of her person, and say, this can bring it back. I can't cast it, though. I don't know enough magic, especially like holy magic, to do this. So we need to go to the temple, unfortunately.
Evelyn's kind of just like staring at the holy symbol sadly, and she's like, "This is all my fault. I
Nope.
should have gone to the spires.
No,
the
we
second
can't.
I got here. I
Magnus,
should have gone back
do what you
immediately.
do what
Lysander
you
is-
do what you did to Diaz to Evelyn.
No.
I can't deal with this.
Evelyn, none
This
of
is
that
all my
right now.
fault.
Give her a talk, please.
Nazca will say, it's not your fault.
What?
Shut up, Nazca.
yeah, I was gonna say that.
I was like, yeah, fuck
I-
that guy.
I believe
Get rid of him.
I believe in the light of Lathander.
Yeah,
Evelyn-
the lad of Lathander is showing me where I should have been all along. Let's go. We need to go to the spires right now.
All right. You leave the sewers by the same route that Nazca brought you here, minus one member. When you come back up
We
into...
collect up all of Palton's things, obviously.
Right, yes. You've got all of his belongings, left nothing behind except corpses of your slain foes. You follow the
And
corpse.
also footprints.
Wait,
footprints
wait,
and-
no.
Leave only footprints, take only memories. That's what
Before
I
we leave, what did we need from the Mind Flayer? We need to take it.
So you didn't need anything. You were just killing him off so that he couldn't continue to
Okay.
breed intellect devours and stick them in the heads of people. So you've done
Yeah,
your...
we're stopping the intellect devourer.
Did he
epidemic.
have anything that we could sell on him?
I don't know, his chopped up remains are just sort of lying in a pile in the middle of the room.
All right, well,
His gas mask is designed to fit his head, so that won't really serve you well. His
What
armor,
a fun memento.
Yeah.
Magnus
Was
is
there,
gonna take
was
it.
there stuff in his lair?
so he was using this place to basically capture people and implant them in. You don't really think it's his lair.
As
In fact,
they start
Nazca
looking
will
around-
tell you that Nihilor's actual lair is in the Xanathar Guild hideout.
They start looking around.
Fine.
and stuff. Evelyn's just like standing at the side of the room, tapping her foot, and finally she
Okay,
walks over.
we've
and she
left.
wipes Palton's ashes from Strix, and is like, and just walks off
Okay.
toward the spires.
All right, let's. Yeah.
Nazca will tell you in passing, is just to sort of create conversation as you head to the spires, that the Xanathar Guild is its members are scattered all over the city, and they typically live in the sewers or in dungeon complexes underneath the sewers. But the Xanathar itself has a main lair, a dungeon complex, where Nihilor and even Nazca actually have spent a fair amount of time. And he says it's really well guarded, but there is one major flaw in its defense, and that is the Xanathar's pet fish. It would go crazy if that fish were taken or killed.
And Magnus instinctually reaches for his pet fish, the magic fish, Steven the goldfish that hangs on his belt. It's like, I understand. I do. I relate.
Nazca says nothing is more important to the beholder than that damn fish. And
Interesting.
you make your way into the castle ward, You see this. You see the gleaming golden spires above the other rooftops. You come to the central plaza where the palace-like temple sits. You enter the edifice. You see its white marble walls gleaming, being cleaned, probably every hour of the day. You also see glass paneled walls separating off various rooms and things. These paneled glass walls have leaded frames, and the colored glass in them often depict saints and suns and sunlight and sun rays and all kinds of sun iconography. As you go deeper and deeper and deeper into the temple, which many of you know quite well, having spent some time here, there are marble staircases leading up into the spires. There are small private confessionals and chambers of worship. There's also big, tall alcoves, and you can see at this very moment a statue of Evelyn standing in one of those hallowed alcoves in a prominent position and being stared at by a group of people who look like they're tourists. And the priest, the acolyte who's guiding them through, is describing her as the one of the temple's great heroes.
This is new, right?
Oh, this is brand new. This statue doesn't look like it's resided in this alcove for more than a few days. And you overhear, as you're passing by, that this statue the money to carve it was donated by House Amcathra. As you well know, the richest of the noble Watadavian houses.
Amcathra.
Amcathra.
Does that name ring a bell for me?
Make a intelligence roll.
Evelyn, that looks like you.
17.
That's Evelyn, right?
Yeah.
Like,
You all see
it looks.
I imagine that Evelyn's walking in like with purpose, because this is like walking into high school. Like you've been here a million times, You're
Yes.
not paying attention. It's like everything is familiar, and she's just like on this mission with these ashes, and she's just kind of like walking.
Yeah. You look taller when you're on top of a plinth, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Strix is like, I got your nose a little wrong.
The eyes, though, like you can see it.
The other thing you notice is that
they kind of follow you.
there's a
you know?
golden sheen to the statue, and it's actually rendered Evelyn as construct.
what?
Oh, whoa.
Oh.
And what was the family name you said?
Amcathra.
Amcath.
A-M-C-A-T-H.
And with a 17, did I know who they were?
Yeah, so when you died and your soul was drawn into the soulmonger, you have this dim memory of having met somebody there by that name. It triggers a memory, and then you realize, oh, it's the boy.
I thought so. So this is the first time I'm remembering that boy.
Yeah.
That's right, the little boy.
And I'm like, oh, what? Well, Amcathra is, how did they, but what is, oh no. She's just so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
She just kind of hides and like walks past the statue like,
Yeah, and you realize you can't remember what the boy's first name was, but you remember that he talked to you about something to do with a horse.
I remember the horses. Yeah, the horses, something with horses.
Yeah.
But yeah, she, like, as soon as this just becomes a lot, and she's holding Paltin's ashes, and so she sees that and the symbol of Lathander in her other hand, and she's like, and just like hides from that and continues walking to where
All
she
right.
thinks.
Magnus is going to do a stealth check to kind of hold his shield up between them and her. So it's almost like an agent. Like, all right, nothing to see here, folks.
Well-trained
my
bodyguard.
Yeah, 18.
Okay,
18.
excellent. You succeed. You're able to cut through the temple and see a train, apparently. You see Father Sunbright standing on a balcony having a conversation. Actually, he's sort of berating or chastising, waving his finger at an acolyte. But when they see you, they stop, and Father Sunbright shoos the acolyte away and immediately comes down the stairs.
That's Lightbelly.
And we've met him before, I think, right?
I don't think you guys.
Oh,
no,
we haven't met
no,
Yeah, 'cause
because he
you
was
live in
not
the
he was
very
not
room.
here when you guys were staying at the
No.
temple. He was
Okay.
actually the priest of another temple in Daggerford.
Got it. Well, Strix doesn't like any of these people,
Yeah.
so she's just hiding in a corner.
Evelyn takes a knee as he descends the stairs and kind of like bows with respect.
I can't believe
And
it's
then-
you.
And she holds out the symbol of Lathander that she knows is his. And she
He looks
says,
at it and he says, "How did you come by this? I thought I'd lost it just yesterday."
And
Lathander
Magnus,
works
yeah.
I believe it was a sign of the Morning Lord and His Holy Majesty reminding me where my true place was.
Yes, I will have. Well, I will have to speak to that acolyte again then.
Strix will just high five Magnus a little.
Yes, I was a little cruel toward him. I regret that now.
Evelyn kind of just
How are you?
like she doesn't know what to say to that. I apologize that it's taken me so long to return. I know that I should have checked in sooner.
Thank you. By the way, thank you, Magnus, for bringing her back to us.
Don't mention it. I definitely, yeah, you're welcome.
He says, or he immediately sort of begins to tell you that the past year has been very difficult. The priesthood has had really no way to deal with the death curse that had taken hold. But when it was lifted, divination spells and whatnot revealed that you had a hand in it, or more precisely, you and someone named Ominiphus Drawn.
Me and Omen?
Yeah. That you were,
Paltin's dead.
you were essentially responsible for destroying some sort of evil god thing that was feeding on the souls, and he was responsible for destroying the device that was trapping the souls, and you kind of did it at the same time in the exact same moment.
Evelyn
name.
doesn't remember this though, right? Like she doesn't remember any of that.
No, not really. No.
When he says that, her reaction, is it like that sounds plausible, or is it like, no, they have it wrong?
She has no experience to relate to it, so it doesn't sound right somehow. And the fact that it's tied to Omen is just a weird coincidence.
The name Omen's brought, and Paul's just like, no, I like that guy. Oh, bastard.
But he says the death curse has ended, and once more we can bring people back from the dead, or at
You know,
least,
funny you should mention that.
or at least I can.
You can't do. I know I'm just back. We have so much to talk about, a lot to talk about, and I know it's so weird to ask for a favor, just like right off
While
the bat.
this is going on, Evelyn, you can see sort of in the background, tapestries of Lathander are being taken down off the walls.
Excuse?
What is happening here?
She doesn't stop. She's like, so much to talk about. Obviously, a lot to talk about. But you said about bringing people back from the dead. I was wondering if maybe that's something you could do, like right this second, for
Yes,
a friend.
Absolutely. I'd
Thank
be
you
happy
so
to.
much. She holds up the ashes.
And
Oh
then
my.
Strix will see you do it, and she'll shuffle over with the scroll and be like, I got one of these.
What's that?
It's a true resurrection scroll, possibly from the hells, from a bunch of hags. Hello, I'm
This
Strix.
is the part where I come back. Watch.
He looks at the scroll and he says, yes. Yes, this looks like it could work. It's some of the writing is a little beyond me, but I'm sure with some research and some assistance, I can have it figured out in no time.
No time is how
Grease,
much time?
grease some palms. This is where that comes in.
Oh yeah.
Grease the palms.
Give him some gold, Evelyn.
That's it.
That-
This is the negotiation part.
Omen taught me that.
He says that, and
no.
he says that.
Evelyn's like, shh.
Then, like, after they say that, Paulton's just like, see that tech guy? Stop fading my stats right now. It's going to be fine, okay?
He's
Between Evelyn and Sunbright, she would know whether it would be appropriate to offer him any money.
so you would be offering the temple money, essentially, and that's always appreciated because it's distributed among various worthy causes. And there are expenses of the spell, and it can be a bit of a burden, even on a large temple.
Evelyn takes the giant bag of 2,000 gold and kind of like, that's
No, not all of it.
Well, work up, Evelyn. Work up to it. Work up to it.
She kind of pulls it back towards her and
Yes, we'll
looks
take
for
that.
guidance. I would just appreciate it if
An acolyte comes over and just sort of drags it away.
if you could give any speed or care, I would really appreciate it.
I was to open a bakery.
Absolutely. Would you join me? Your friends can make themselves comfortable around. Over there on that bench, for instance.
It's like in the dark,
Yeah.
like where no one can see us. Like Strix, let's go sit on it. Like
I'll be in my workshop, but if you guys, whenever you're ready, just knock on the imaginary door.
What if we need their help?
We won't.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Maybe they could just
Is
come
that
with us.
thing
company?
housebroken? Points at Waffles.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
Yeah, sort of points over your shoulder, Magnus, at the big owlbear behind you.
That thing is named Waffles, and she's and obedient and will listen to us.
Oh, good.
Evelyn, this is on you now. You can do this.
You sure you guys don't want to come just for, company?
oh, this is all Lathander stuff. Strix like pats the bench next to her.
Okay.
We'll be okay. You need to go.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys, Evelyn, you go off with Father Sunbright and the Ashes of Paltin and the Scroll of True Resurrection.
After
And-
she leaves,
Yeah.
Dieth will kind of take a seat next to Strix
Okay.
and kind of address her, but almost like watching Evelyn as she leaves and just be like, you heard what she said, right?
Wait, which part?
The part when we got here. And Evelyn said that she was supposed to be here the whole time.
Well, I don't like that. That's not true.
No. No, it's not.
A couple
Well, when she
acolytes,
gets back, we'll hit her really hard.
four acolytes come by and ask you to stand while they take the old bench, which
Wait.
has sort of inscriptions of Lathander, and they put a new
sorry.
bench down in its place.
Wait. Why are you taking away the Lathander bench?
They don't say anything.
Wait, what does the new bench say?
It has a sun-like design and some inscriptions on it that you can probably translate. It seems to pertain to somebody or someone named Amanator.
Amanator. I never said that right because I only read it in a video game. Amanator.
Magnus says in Thieves' Cant to Dieth, how's your stealth?
Always subconsciously, Dieth channels a little bit of Paltin, just goes, my dude, how's my stealth?
So yeah, I'm between Strix's rat form and our stealth. I suggest that we get maybe a little bit closer to that conversation, and we don't. This is feeling real hinky, and I don't know. Leaving Evelyn alone. Is that just me? Am I wrong?
I don't believe she's in danger, but something's going on here.
Do you guys want to make
Can-
stealth checks?
Yeah.
Should you? Are you going to tell Strix to rats? Because she doesn't understand Thieves' Cant. She's like, they're doing hand things again. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah. I got a 23, and then we do kind of like a Strix. You, rats, us, we're gonna look.
I get that. It just
Okay.
turns into rats.
Okay.
I got 27.
All right. Make a stealth check, Strix.
Just rats. Oh boy!
In this-
All right, 18.
In this
That's
sort of
not bad.
pristine temple, seeing a mob
19.
of black rats sort of crawling
That's-
through is
Well,
so. But
I
you're
could-
probably like following like along the corners of the walls and things.
Yeah,
Behind
that's-
tapestries and fonts, and not actually crossing the main floors.
yeah, that's 19.
Okay, you all roll really well. Paltin. Hey, Paltin. There he is.
I gotta put his headset back on.
Paltin.
What?
You
Yes.
get this strange feeling of your psyche, your spirit, your mind, and your body all sort of coming back together as though they were all kind of in separate rooms, but suddenly joined in one place. And when you open your eyes, there's sunlight washing down on top of you. Evelyn, what you have just witnessed is Father Sunbright successfully casting the scroll, which goes blank after he uses it. And during the course of the casting, he utters prayers to Aminator, not Lathander.
This is troubling.
But your friend Paltin is on this padded plinth. There are a couple acolytes standing in corners who just kind of ring gongs, bung, every 10 seconds or so. And they do it together when Paltin awakens and sits up. You feel the warmth.
So
You feel the warmth of
Evelyn
the sun
is
upon you.
Evelyn is staring at Sunbright as he's saying prayers to Aminator, and like
He rolls up the scroll
Getting
too and
more
puts it
and
back
more-
in the case and hands it to Paltin and says, "A memento."
Do I
Well-
remember at least getting disintegrated, or like
There was
being
this
shot?
feeling where like your body was gone and you could just see your like hands turning to dust, and then that's it.
Palton wakes up and like takes a second and remembers and goes, "Oh, Perkins."
Evelyn like still has dust up to her elbows, like she hasn't even cleaned up yet, and she sees him sit up and she just goes,
Palton's just, and also like just like, we're crying now, okay, and just like grabs her and hugs her.
While you two are hugging, Luke Sunbright is just sort of standing next to you, his golden beard and curly golden hair, catching the bright light, almost gives him an aura. And then he says, "Having done that, the gold is a great boon to the temple. Thank you for all that you've done. I could use your help personally."
in this she kind of disentangles herself from she's like, "Of course, anything in the service of the morning lord."
Absolutely. So, since the passing of Mother Zeres, there hasn't been a high priest determined for this temple. I am, of course, the leading candidate and could use your support. For all that you've done to end the death curse, your words would carry tremendous weight within the clergy. And given our past relationship and how we've seen each other, I figure the two of us can make this temple stronger than it's ever been.
I am just curious because when you were praying just now, I was a little surprised to hear the name Aminator instead of Lathander, and I was just curious what that meant.
Palton as support is just like, oh, appalling.
He says, well, Lathander is the reincarnation of Aminator. Aminator is the ancient one.
So why
It
the
is
change?
it is he who is the foundation of our faith. But they are one and the same. Aminator is Lathander.
Yeah, but why change everything now? Why'd we praise Lathander before? Now is it just like an aesthetic change, like a rebrand?
He says, to an extent, but it is always good to remember the past and to reach and bring forth the past so that it doesn't become lost forever.
When he says that we've always seen each other well, is
Yeah.
that something that Evelyn agrees with?
He was, when you visited the temple of Lathander, the Morning Glow Tower in Daggerford, he was always respectful to you.
I imagine he was like tough but fair, kind of.
Yeah, he
teacher.
was. You were young, you were sort of flirting with an adventuring career, not going for the clerical path, but for the paladin path and sort of running off in the temple. And you could see that maybe he had a sort of disapproving, there was a hint of disapprovingness to that, but that has gone. You don't see that at all anymore.
if the side canon writing is to be believed, he was tough on her, but helped train her to become as strong as she was.
Right.
Okay, so she's like, well, I can't think of a better candidate, so of course you have my support.
He smiles and says, well, I'll let you reunite with your friends.
Hey, thanks. That's real nice.
I have some other matters to attend to. Nice to see you again, and pleasure to meet you, Paltin.
Do we need to roll now to see if when they open the door we fall in? Or like...
There's a bunch of rats.
You totally can, yes, if you want. By the way, the rest of you have heard all of this and
Okay.
seen Paltin's awakening.
Evelyn's like, I can just I can just go. There's no, you don't need anything like.
Well, you're going to be
You're
going to be staying in the city for a while, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you could come by and we could go out for lunch sometime and catch up. Talk about the future.
Okay. May the light of the morning Lord shine upon you.
How do you rest of you do on your stealth checks?
Pretty good.
28.
Okay.
29.
All right.
4.
Okay. So the rats are a bit of a giveaway.
The rats are there.
They pile out of the shadows.
Paltin
right.
just kind of like looks up. He's like, "Oh my God, stop, chat, shut up. Just let it happen when it does." Jesus.
Magnus comes walking in like he's been a long way away. Like, oh, Evelyn. Oh, sorry. I thought this was the bathroom. Oh.
Evelyn kind of like takes Paltin's hand. Does he need anything? Like when he just came back from ashes, like.
Yeah, how am I?
You probably could use a long rest, but other than that.
Did he
Speaking
come
of,
back like clothed, or is he just like draped in?
Oh, am I?
He's probably wearing something modest, but that's it.
like
Like he's probably just wearing one of the temple robes. Yeah.
yeah.
So he's actually kind of dressed like a sun priest acolyte right now.
Strix is laughing at him.
Evelyn kind of like looks him up and down. She's like, "Hey,
Like,
listen, we all need our rest, right?
Yeah.
I have something I want to show you that I think is going to help with that. So follow me. Come with me.
Okay.
As you
Strix is gonna turn back into Strix and
okay.
not rats once she's
got
noticed.
it, yes. So she assumes her true form. As you sort of follow Magnus out of the temple, everybody just make perception checks to see if you notice anything interesting.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Evelyn is distracted."
I got a 14.
Okay.
6.
A natural 20 up to 31.
Okay.
14.
Diath, you notice as everybody is withdrawing that there is a priest, an acolyte, basically an old woman in the garb of Lathander. She's got a gold and white habit, a robe that hangs down, golden slippers. She is watching you leave, and her expression is one of grave concern. And it looks like she wants to intercede and talk to you, but then something kind of stays her hand, and she realizes maybe this is the wrong time. But she looks nervous and afraid. And you can see, by the way, what looks like a bronze-carved symbol of Lathander being carted away behind her.
Like from one side of the frame to
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
But she's very clearly wearing Lathander
Yes.
garb.
Yes, and a Lathander holy symbol draped over her neck.
Dang. I'll give her a look to know that I noticed her noticing. I don't know how else to really convey it, unless she knows thieves can't. Just like a quick look around, and then kind of like a quick nod to like the direction we are going, and then back at her and giving her a quick nod, yes. And then I continue following Magnus to whatever magical happy place he has in his pocket, or whatever the fuck.
Okay. You notice as you follow Magnus and company out that this priestess has also sort of followed you and
Good.
watches you leave. And
Okay.
Magnus.
So here's the thing. So last year's ChairCon, I was here in Waterdeep, and I kind of started formulating a plan, sort of a retirement thing, but more of just like, oh, I'm gonna do that. And I've kind of been working on it over the past year, getting all the deals done. And I actually just before ChairCon this year, closed on it. And I kind of have a plan for it, but for now, I just wanted to show you. And he brings them to a manor.
A coach ride later, blah, 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 blah. You sort of cross a few streets of town. You head from the Castle Ward into the North Ward along one of the main thoroughfares. And then you come to an alley that you take the cart through, and there's this big stone archway that you pass through into a street surrounded on all sides by tall buildings, many of them quite old and fabulous.
So there was a building here that this older couple bought with the intention of turning into a B&B, and they never ended up finishing it. So I bought it. Eventually, I'm going to find the time to come in and finish it, but that's not going to be for a couple years. So I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to hang out here in Waterdeep much longer. I got to get back to my school and to my friends and everything. So would you all want to watch over it for me while I was gone?
You see this incredible mansion on a corner.
Stark's just like,
and parts of it look weathered and worn and probably could use some fixing up and such, but the structure seems basically sound. The windows are all shuttered for the most part, and there's all these sort of verandas and balconies perched on it at various levels.
is it zoned for a bakery?
Well, it's got 4 bedrooms,
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. And Evelyn, there's one in the attic that connects to turrets, overlooks beautiful sunrise. I thought you would like that. But also, the first floor is a tap room with a full kitchen.
Magnus, this is far more than we could ever.
And also, just FYI, I insured out the ass, so like you don't have to worry about if there's like a dragon or anything like that. And
Yeah, there probably will be.
yeah, I figured. And I've been kind of going back and forth about different names, but I have an idea. Tell me what you think about this. Waffle House.
I don't know. I feel like the SEO on that might be tricky.
I don't know. It sounds like a last resort kind of thing.
Paltin like leans over to Diep. He's just like, he's a guest player. Can a guest player give us a house?
He just undone it.
He's not giving us anything. We're
We're talking about a
care of it.
lease, like 10 gold a month, something reasonable. Because I mean,
That's
I plan
really
on
reasonable.
eventually flipping it and selling it. You know what I mean? So this
No,
is
that's
more
really
of like
That's like
you'll
good
be like
equity.
caretakers
Yeah.
of it more than anything else, and just make
Yeah,
sure.
we'll clean it up.
Yeah,
And
it's a safe
it just,
investment.
if you happen to unfortunately pass away, would that just mean that it was ours?
Well, canonically, I'm not going to do that, so it's fine.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I know how these things work. Where's the piece of paper or contract or something where we got to give you our entire
Hold on.
beings or
And
like-
Magnus just grabs a piece of paper and writes, "You can stay here for 10 gold a month." Magnus, and hands it to you.
Yeah, takes this contract. Like, I'm not used to. This is pretty solid. He kind of turns back to the party, just be like,
Is there like a
Paltin's gone up
notary
to like
here?
one of the windows and is looking
Yeah.
into this big,
Yeah, go.
this
Todd,
big
he tosses the
gigantic
keys.
tap room beyond with this huge bar and the
Is it
fireplace.
open?
Yeah, toss it. I toss the keys to Paltin.
Okay.
I am
I catch
already at
them.
the bar.
Yeah. You're gonna have to.
Is there
You're gonna have
any
to
magic
stock
here?
this thing.
Can we make magic? Can we make magic here? Is there magic?
Yeah, you got a big old basement, so go to town. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
got a
runs
wine
it.
cellar, it's got an ale cellar, it's got a tap room, a pantry, a kitchen. On the upper floors, it's got a big common room, a big den, an upstairs hall, 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms, a library study, private baths, balconies, and attic storage, and a private turret.
well, You heard him. Why don't you guys go enjoy?
Paltin has already like chugged a concerning amount of wine. He's just like, now I know this is a dream sequence, so I'm going to take advantage of it before it ends.
Dieth is basically like, oh, you kids go have fun.
No, Strix isn't gonna go in until Dieth goes in. She's not.
Okay.
She's just like, "Is it open? Go! Let's go!"
Evelyn and
Could I-
Paltin are like, wee!
Yeah.
Strix, would it be okay if I talk to Dia just 1 second?
Oh yeah, I won't rats around you this
Just-
time.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
There's a basement. That sounds awesome. Go check it out.
Yeah, she just like runs away like Muppet runs, like. As soon as he says, "Go check it out," she's like, she's down there in seconds.
Yeah. It's so big.
Dia, I hope this isn't too much. I mean, really, I was planning on doing this anyways. You're doing me a favor, keeping an eye on it, or else it was just going to sit empty for like 3 or 4 years.
No, we needed a place to stay, and this is more than I could
Yeah.
ever.
The North Ward is
have
one of
ever-
the nicest wards in all of Waterdeep.
Yeah, this is more than I've ever and will ever be able to give any of them.
Well, don't think of it that way, because you got them here. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to tell you something before I go. I remembered one thing about the person that I traveled with. It's not much.
You see Dieth actually like tense up a little bit.
All I swear to you, I've been trying so hard to remember. All I can remember is kind of a crescent scar from like middle of eyebrow, kind of around like that. You know what I mean? And like I said, I can't even guarantee it's any connection to you whatsoever. It just seems right. But there is one more thing I wanted to say about it before I go. Don't spend so much time looking for your father that you miss the fact that you've already found your family.
Dieth actually kind of is surprised a little bit by this and turns back and just says, "This might be the first time you've got me completely wrong. I've never been trying to find him. I know exactly where I belong and who I belong with."
That's an important thing to learn. I lost my family a long time ago. A horrible, horrible man took them from me. And it's a thing that for a long, long time I thought I would never be able to replace. And then I made a new family and had new experiences with them and grew even stronger than I did before. And I want the same for you and for your friends and for your family. Take care of them. You know, they're great.
I'm happy to hear that for you, Magnus, and I will take care of them. And unlike you, this is the only family I've ever had.
Well, if you need anything, and Magnus hands him, so in our game, we have these things called Stones of Far Speech that let you like contact other people. They're like pagers. And Magnus gives one to Diath tuned to his. If you ever need me, if you ever need anything from me, let me know. I have a whole magical cannon thing. I can get here pretty quickly. So if you need anything, let me know, okay?
I appreciate that, Magnus. And I don't know how much it's worth back to you, but should you ever need us, you know where to find me. He goes in for a handshake.
We
Then after
hug.
Magnus takes
Come on, we hug.
it's like the handshake into the hug
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now go check out the house.
Magnus leaving because
Yeah.
Evelyn's gonna stick her head out one of the bathroom windows, already like shower cap on, like towel. She's like, "Bye, Magnus, thank you."
Yeah, there'll be some rats peeking out from like a basement window, and they'll just all wave
Yeah.
together with little rat hands.
Actually, before I go, I have taken like a shit ton of damage. Can I come take a nap, please?
Oh yeah,
I just need a nap.
Yeah, let's give like
Yeah.
at least 2 gold pieces in rent if you want to.
Ah,
Come on, buddy.
All right.
Strix will
yeah.
make us breakfast.
So he'll crash.
that's right.
He'll crash for a while. The rest of you make yourself at home. Strix, you can see down in the cellar. There's some evidence that people have been kind of rooting down there recently, looking for shit.
like stealing our pipes?
No effort tidying up the place. You get the impression that maybe you might need to shore up the security down here. They must be
All
getting
right.
in from somewhere. But you love the fact that these sort of rough carved out cellars in the basement are so spacious and have so many nooks and crannies to stick stuff in.
Excellent.
Paltin, you're sort of you've drained one bottle out into a glass and drank that. You sort of duck down underneath the bar to root around to see if you can find something you haven't tried yet. And when you come out with something that you want to try, and you look up at the bar, there is a bottle of wine pouring itself into your glass,
It's haunted!
and then just sort of sets it down beside.
Palm just takes it and is like, I'm gonna put a pin in that. In 5.
And then you just see sort of the cork go foop in the top of the bottle.
Just like, okay.
And then the bottle just sort of float over toward a shelf and lay itself in there.
This place is awesome.
And that's where we'll stop.
You gave us a haunted house!
So much happened. My head hurts.
A lot happened.
Why
Why can't we just have a normal house?
47 minutes.
This is a normal house. All right.
I
So
had
I
the
have a
bottle ready at my desk. Good thing.
I have a floor plan to send you guys.
Oh my god, it's actually our house? Like, we're
Yes.
not gonna get, like, killed or something and evicted?
This is it.
That's a really great house.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, we're just borrowing it.
That actually came to me in a dream. And I reached out to Chris and I was like, I want to give him a house.
That's amazing.
We
And
never
I didn't even know, and even earlier in the episode, I said, we don't even have a house.
That's right.
And we got a
I
house!
was biting my tongue the whole time.
That was so amazing!
I
Yeah.
was sitting there the whole time like, how do I find a chance to get us to the house?
Yeah. No, it's beautiful.
Look, we've had a lot of great guests, but I'm gonna say you're the first one that's ever given us a house.
It's true.
Guests, step your game up.
And psychological help and support.
Right. Yeah.
We killed all the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good. Well, thank you for having me. It's been an absolute
Absolutely. And what a joy to have you, Travis. Thank you very
It's
much.
been wonderful.
Yeah.
I really
I'm glad-
appreciate it. I'm happy to come back whenever you need me.
I'm glad we
Cool.
can contact you whenever anyone has
Yep.
a mental breakdown.
Yeah, if any of your characters ever just need to talk, I'm happy to be like a helpline. You can phone a friend, Dan. I'm happy to do it.
Outstanding. Does anybody have any announcements they want to share with the greater Waffle fam before we break off for the week?
Trapped to the Birdcage starts on July 5th, I believe, on that Thursday. So we will be back into the city of Sigil, where I DM a band of misfits who keep stealing things and will probably get mazed. So come hang out here. It'll be fun. And Anna's there as well as Will, who steals lots of things.
Yep.
Yay!
The Adventure Zone graphic novel is coming out, and we are doing a bunch of live events, both like reading stuff, and then I'm doing some like book signings and things around the Cincinnati area.
So funny.
Thank you. You can find out where the signings and live events are at McElroyshows.com/tours. They're all there. We also have My Brother, Me and Adventure Zone live shows coming up in August in Orlando and Atlanta for Dragon Con.
Oh, fun.
I just announced that this coming August, myself and my actually fellow cast member in my other D&D show, Dark and Dicey, Zach Callison, who you might also know as the voice of Steven in Steven Universe, are going on tour together because we're both putting out new albums really soon here. So we're going to be playing live concerts. In August, we're going to be in Nashville, Detroit, Chicago, Burnsville, Denver, Seattle, and Portland, with a couple more tour dates announced for between now and the rest of the year. Tickets go on sale this Friday at NateWantsToBattle.com. So, yeah.
Sweet.
In July 21st, 22nd, I will be in Telford, England for CoxCon. So if you're in Europe or England or that general area, come on out to Telford. You can go to coxcon.co.uk for more information there, but I'll be there along with the rest of Normal Boots, July 21st to 22nd.
There's no Miss Clicks D&D Lost Mine tonight. Thank you to everyone who's been asking about it. Just a lot of cast member scheduling issues. We'll do at least one more show, so thanks for asking, and just watch Twitter for updates. Also, don't forget to watch Trapped in the Birdcage on the 5th, but don't forget to tune in next week to this show because there's going to be a really big, exciting announcement on the show about the show next week.
And of course, there's also the Dice Game Reactions subreddit,
Yes.
where I will now spam that link.
Right.
Yeah, get him.
Yeah.
Get him.
Let the speculation run rampant.
What could it be?
We have a house. I'm already thinking of decorations.
Right. All right, then that's it for this week. Thanks again to Travis for joining us. Spectacular session as always. And until we meet again, take care of each other and have a great week.
Watch out for disintegration rays.
That too. They come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They're real bad.
Yes.